release from in the morning.
Hello and welcome to Paratalk with the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers. Paratalk podcast contains explicit language, scary content, and adult humor. Parental discretion is advised.
It's time, once again, to join the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers for Paratalk. A wide-ranging, open discussion covering everything from UFOs to psychic phenomena, cryptozoology to paranormal encounters. Do you have a question? Or perhaps you have an experience to share? Email us at etgsparatalk@gmail.com or call 865-264-0448. That's 865-264-0448. And now, here's your host, Stephen Brown, with fellow ETGS members Steve Wiseman, Andrea Brown, Jesse Arms, Elsie Adams, and me, Mike Howard. Sit back, relax, and open your mind. It's time for Paratalk.
All right. We're here. We're back. And welcome, everyone, in the chat room right now. It is Friday, July 10th.
Happy birthday, Steven!
Happy birthday, Steven!
Oh, you guys. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, it's not only just my birthday. I mean, that's
the biggest part.
That's the most important part.
That's the most important part of today, yes, is my birthday. But it's also National Pina Colada Day.
Yeah, it is.
I can get behind that, too.
Yeah. And Andrea's favorite.
Yep.
It's National Kitten Day.
Aww.
Yeah.
Actually, I like cats.
I'm not a fan of the kittens.
They scratch too much.
Have you met your fucking cat?
He's precious.
Oh, my God.
He hates every living being except you.
Except her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He loves me.
Yeah, he does.
He knows that I love him, so he loves me back and guards me.
Oh, he guards you
He's
all
just
right.
slightly demonic.
Yeah, just slightly.
Just a skosh.
Yeah.
Just a tiny little bit.
Yeah, so last weekend, my dad was in town.
Yeah.
And Dad comes over Sunday before he leaves out on Monday and spends the day with us. Well, Dad's in there and Waverly walks up to him. Dad reaches down to pet him and Waverly proceeds to bite his hand, pull it in, and then scratch through all layers of skin and rip Dad's hand open.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's Andrea's nice kitty cat there.
Yeah,
he doesn't know you.
I don't know you.
And I don't know you.
I have made an effort to get to know Waverly. Waverly is not reciprocating. He does not like anybody but you.
That's very true.
Yeah.
He's just kind of an asshole.
I will agree that he is an asshole.
Yeah.
He's my baby.
But I still get tickled watching him chase the dog.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best thing ever.
Poor Blue. Yeah. Blue gets his ass kicked all the time by Waverly.
Yes.
It's so funny, though.
And Waverly be laying and waiting. He'd be like down behind the rocking chair. And
he gets in his pounce, stance.
And Blue comes running down the hall all excited to see someone. And as soon as he clears the back of the chair, bam!
Well, in Waverly's defense, Blue barks a lot. And I think he's like, all right, I'll pay you back.
Yeah.
I get you.
Where is Sir Barks a lot? Oh, do you put him outside?
He's out there. Hayden's out there.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah.
Steve might be down there.
I think Steve's trying to make his way to his dungeon. His dungeon.
Do we need to throw him on a stretcher and carry him?
I think it would hurt him.
It would.
I think it would hurt him.
Y'all keep Steve in your prayers and thoughts.
Yeah, Steve had back surgery day before yesterday. He's recovering, but he's really, really sore. Really
of pain
sore
right now.
Lots of pain right now. So, yeah, keep Steve in your thoughts and prayers. And
Hopefully
would
next
totally
week he'll
appreciate
be
it.
back.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to be able to lift anything. I mean, we'll have to pull his chair out for him.
Right.
And adjust his microphone for him.
As opposed to other times.
Right. Yeah. That's about how it is. But anyway, and Rodent Restaurant, thank you. Rodent wished me a happy birthday on the chats here. Thank you so much. I'm officially a day older than I was yesterday.
And how many years does this make you now? 29 plus how many anniversaries of 29?
I'm 47 today.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm 47. But you know what? I work with guys half my age, and I work harder than them. So that's all that matters. Yeah.
Do you feel 47?
No, not at all.
Okay, then that's
all.
what matters.
Except for the days when I hurt and I don't want to move.
And you feel about 87.
Yeah.
It comes and goes.
Yeah, it comes and goes. Yeah.
It's just a number. Age is just a number.
really
It
is.
totally is.
I'm going to be 47 in February. It ain't no big deal.
Yeah. I mean,
BFD.
yeah, I'm fine.
Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
Yeah. I mean, I have those occasional chest pains. Can't breathe. And
We should probably go get that checked.
I'll be all right.
You're such a guy.
Yeah. It's just gas or something. I don't know.
That's when you sit down and go, what have I lifted today?
Yeah.
What have I done today? Did I eat too fast?
Right.
Because
Did
it
I
can be a
have-
number of
anything.
things.
Did I
It could be
have
anything.
spicy food?
Yeah. Probably. And I lifted probably a lot.
I learned 2 years ago not to eat pizza and then go to bed within an hour.
Oh my!
Because if I do, I get up and I'm like, oh God, I'm dying.
This week, I have suffered from reflux worse than I have ever suffered in my entire life. Andrea was at the hospital with Steve the other night. I'm sitting here, and I don't remember what I ate.
That's probably your first guess right there, is because you don't know what you ate.
It was probably a burger, just because that's easily accessible.
Oh, yeah.
So it's probably a burger. But, like, I was ready to chop my head off just so I didn't have to deal with this pain here in my throat. Right, yeah, right in that area there. Yeah.
Right in there.
But, like, I call her, I'm like, do we have anything for heartburn? Anything at all? And she's like, yeah, there's Tums on the table. And I'm like, I've looked all over the table. I can't find it anywhere. And she's like, well, then I've got some generic Tums in there next to my bed. So I run in there and I grab them and I ate like 92 of them. Didn't really help. Then yesterday.
Can I make a confession?
What?
So
Did you poison him? Is that what you're about to tell us?
No, I would never.
She would never admit it.
Yeah, she would never admit it.
True. No.
That's my wife.
When you called me, sitting in the waiting room, you asked me for the Tums, and I told you where they were.
Right.
Time went by. I was like sitting there thinking, and I was like, man, I'm hungry. So I reached in my purse.
They were in your purse.
They were in my purse. And I did. No. But listen, okay, let me finish this out.
Oh my God. Okay, now she's going to get to the good part.
Okay. So I took them out of my purse. I put them on the table, and he was talking to Steve about it. And I was like, here they are.
Holy shit. You made me feel like a dumbass. Oh, okay, well, I'll do that myself.
That was evil and awesome. I love it.
I'm so crying right now. Yeah. And I told Steve, I said, don't tell Steven this, but the Tums were in my purse the whole time. So whenever I pulled up the Tums off the table, he looks at me and he's just smiling. I'm just like, don't say anything.
And I'm like, and Steve goes, well, he's blind.
Oh my God.
I was like, I guess I'm really freaking blind. I mean, it's a big bottle, a huge bottle of Tums.
Bottle.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fantastic.
And I was like,
now
I
the thing
moved-
is I have no idea why they were in my bag because they were on the table. There's no reason I would have put them in this bag because it's my backpack travel bag.
Right.
There was no reason they would have been in that bag, but they were.
Oh my God. That's fantastic.
Wow.
At least I confessed.
Yeah.
Forgive me?
So did some of these ladies we're going to be talking about tonight.
No.
But, yeah. Really?
At least she didn't poison you.
That's true.
That's true, yeah.
And she had spare Tums next to the
I
bed.
did.
That didn't work at all.
It was better than nothing.
Milk.
And there's milk.
Yes, and I didn't think about the milk. I didn't. I was thinking, it's past my bedtime. I have to get up in 5 hours. I've got to go to sleep.
But I'm dying.
But I'm dying.
Yeah.
I would have been thinking, I'm dying. I have no Tums. What else could possibly help this? Oh, yeah, milk. Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, anyway.
Moving along.
Moving on. I
was good, though.
survived the heartburn.
That's fantastic.
With no help from Andrea, apparently.
I had generics.
They didn't work. So, tonight, we've talked a lot about serial killers. You know, we've went out and we've pinpointed certain serial killers. Ted Bundy.
Yep.
Jeffrey Dahmer. Ed Gein. We've devoted full podcasts to these guys. But every time we talk about serial killers, even 2 weeks ago with the podcast that failed, we talked of serial killers.
Wah, wah.
And it was all males. But there's some wicked bitches out there.
Yeah, there are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. You know, and you know, I say bitches because these women were bitches.
They qualify.
Yeah.
They definitely qualify.
Yeah. And so we started talking this week about female serial killers. And there's some evil ones out there, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say a lot. There's quite a few well-known ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Eileen Wuornos is one of the main ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I came up on this list of lesser-known ones.
Yeah. And some and a couple that may be known to some, but not really thought about.
Right.
You know,
I mean, when you think of the word serial killer or who a serial killer may be, you think of men.
you think of men.
Yeah.
Because they're, you know,
There's a lot more of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or at least a lot more that get caught.
Yeah.
True.
That's it. It's because the women eat all the shit, and there's nothing left behind to find.
I mean, women just think it through a little more.
I think they do. Yeah.
I do think that there's a lot more thought process behind
Yeah.
a woman's killings.
And you also got to think of the time period that most of these women
Yes,
are from.
That's true, too.
The time period most of these women are from, women they were not looked at like that.
Of course.
You know,
Maybe that's why.
So they could do it, and they could get away with it.
Very true.
So, all right. Somebody lead us off.
Well, you know, detailed statistics show that only 11.4% of serial killers around the world since 1900 have been female. This percentage has dwindled dramatically since the early part of the 20th century, when it was around 30%. In fact, since 1980, a little over 7% of serial killers have been women, which is why they attract such interest on the rare occasion one is discovered. So again, tonight we are going to discuss some of the lesser known of the female serial killers.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, that's a very small percentage.
Oh, yeah.
Very small.
It is, yeah.
You know, but, you know, that's another thing. Okay, like the guys we've talked about, the serial killers, you know, they were gruesome murderers. Mm-hmm. You know, you know, you had like Jack the Ripper.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he would cut them, and you know, his first few, you know, cut their throats. That's about it. Some of these women just started off being badass from the beginning.
That is true. I mean,
That's because they thought about it more.
exactly. They weren't going for the gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
They were going for the kill.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm going to show a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they laid in bed at night or were doing the dishes or the laundry going, and this is how I'm going to do it.
This way, and this is where I would go. This is what I would get. This is how I would do it. This is what I would do afterwards. Yeah. There's so much more thought into it.
There really is.
Okay.
Are you scared?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking. I'm in here and locked in this room with you two girls, and you sound like you've thought about this quite a bit.
I mean, I don't know any woman that hasn't.
It's just
I don't know any person that hasn't really.
It's just the vast majority. There's the thoughts behind it, but you don't act on it.
Most of us are not purely evil.
Right. Have a
I'm
conscience.
just 2% evil.
Right. Yeah.
Just two.
Just
Just
I'm a
2%.
skim.
Just 2.
I'm a skim percentage evil.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Take us into someone here.
Numero uno is Maria Swanenberg, and she was born in 1839 and passed away in 1915. Swanenberg was one of Europe's most prolific serial killers. She is suspected of murdering over 90 people, although there are 27 confirmed kills. She was born in Leiden, Netherlands in 1839 and received the nickname, and I'm going to butcher this, Goeie Me, which means good me, due to her reputation for helping the children and sick people of her neighborhood. However, it later transpired that she was poisoning the individuals that apparently fell ill, and once they died, she collected their inheritance. The precise dates of her reign of terror are unclear, but most research shows that she began her murder spree in 1880. During that period, Swanenberg poisoned at least 102 people with arsenic, and 27 of them died. However, an investigation revealed a total of 90 suspicious deaths, although they haven't been conclusively attributed to Swanenberg. Her first known victim was her mother in 1880, swiftly followed by her father. I mean,
jeez,
one way to get rid of your family problems.
I mean, okay, we talk about these about the men, and at the upper spectrum, you're looking at 25 murders,
maybe 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Averaging.
This is back in the 1800s, and bitch done killed 90 people. 90 people.
Yeah.
And what's even crazier is that her luck ran out in December of 1883. So she had really only been at it for 3 years, approximately 3 years, when she was caught attempting to poison the Frankusen family. Her trial for just 3 murders began in April 1885, and the court heard how she tried to poison everybody who came her way. Swanenberg apparently tried to murder one of her sister-in-laws on 6 separate occasions. So, I mean, this chick was... Yeah, this chick was...
I think I can.
Was not giving it up, and her sister-in-law was not giving it up either. Which is, I mean, why do you even go around somebody that's tried to kill you 6 times?
Right? I mean,
maybe she didn't know.
Yeah. If she didn't know, she's just like, oh, I'm getting sick for some reason every time I go around her.
And then Maria is probably like, come over here, I'll make you feel better.
Yeah, let me fix you some soup.
Yeah.
So
Sprinkle,
although
sprinkle.
her main motivation was money, she also poisoned several people with no financial incentive. 3 different medical professionals examined Swanenberg and found her to be sane. The trial lasted just 2 days, as Swanenberg confessed to 2 of the 3 murders, but claimed that she didn't intend to kill them. Even her lawyer at the trial acknowledged that she was a monster, and the judge had no hesitation in handing down a life sentence after finding Swanenberg guilty of all 3 crimes. She spent the rest of her life in a correctional facility and died in 1915. So
Just 3.
Just for 3, yeah. But she tried to, over 90 people in 3 years.
And when her attorney said that she was a monster, in the back of his head, after he said that, he went, oh, shit.
Please take her. Please take her. Please take her.
Please put her in the
She's
prison
guilty.
system.
She's guilty, Your Honor. She's guilty. Put the bitch away.
Don't let her walk. She's going to make me cookies. They're going to look good. I'm going to eat one and I'm going to die.
I'm going to die. It's inevitable. I'm going to die.
Oh, my God. But yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, in 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
So she just basically tried to poison everybody who came near her.
Yeah.
To me, it's a deep-rooted psychological issue that she just felt compelled to at least attempt to kill people. Now, whether or not they actually died from it was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and it says, that she had a reputation for helping children and sick people.
So she found easy marks.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So how many of these 90 people were kids?
Right.
Or somebody who was already sick and she thought, a little rat poison, they'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Right. I'm helping.
Yeah. I made you this delicious arsenic tea.
And
You'll love it.
Well, while you're drinking this tea, Edna, and eating this soup that I made you, why don't you just sign everything over to me?
Yeah.
Sign right here.
I'll take care of everything.
I'll make sure your family's taken care of. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
She took care of him, all right.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting him next.
In her pocket.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Monster.
Yes.
When your own attorney says you're a monster, that
You're a
says
monster.
a lot.
Yeah.
Jeez,
But,
Pete.
at least, though, the judge did his job, and put her away for life.
Yep. I mean, it sucks that it was just 3
that they got her.
That they got her on.
Yeah. But, I mean, back then, it was frowned upon to execute a lady.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, even if she had been convicted of the 90,
it still would have been life.
It still would have been life in prison,
Yeah.
So
True.
She probably went to the jail and was laughing.
Probably.
Yeah. You want me to cook for everybody? I make a mean porridge.
Cook.
Yeah.
I'll help with the cooking duties.
Yeah.
I make some real good soup, y'all.
It's
some
delicious.
real good soup.
It's delicious. It help you lose weight. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Andrea. Share the next one with us.
Number 2, Helene Llegado. Born 1803, died 1852. Also known as the Pious Poisoner, Llegado murdered up to 36 people with arsenic in an 18-year period from 1833 to 1851. She was born on a small farm near Lorient, France in 1803, and after her mother died when Llegado was 7 years old, she lived and worked with her aunts in Burberry. Llegado moved to Séguilin with an aunt in 1827 and quickly displayed her tendencies while working as a cook.
Of course.
Right? We'll get to that in a second. Llegado was accused of adding hemp to soup by the curé, although there are no records of any punishment.
I mean, all some hemp would do to you is make you feel a little better.
True.
Yeah, I mean,
but if you are starting with the hemp and ending with the arsenic,
it's true.
Well, that's just way, you don't feel those cramps as bad.
Right? It's gonna make you feel good.
Here, take a spoon.
Llegado is unusual for a serial killer insofar as her murders took place in 2 separate spells, some 10 years apart. The first spree began in 1833 when she allegedly poisoned 7 people, including her sister and her employer, Father Francois Le Drogo, in the village of Guerin. All 7 victims died from arsenic poisoning.
Bless you.
Thank you. In the period from late June to early October of 1833. Llegado avoided suspicion because she grieved so convincingly for the loss of her sister and the others. Also, there had been a cholera epidemic the previous year, so most people assumed the deaths came as a result of residual infection. She returned to Burberry to bury her sister, and another 3 people died in the next 3 months. Soon after, Llegado moved to Lochmine, where she lived with a woman called Marie-Jeanne Leboucher. These are fun names. The lady and her daughter died.
You're doing great.
Thank you. The lady and her daughter died, and while her son also became ill. He refused to accept Gigado's care, and he survived. She moved from the house to house, and while people always mysteriously died soon after her arrival, Gigado managed to avoid suspicion.
The son went, I don't need no woman. Spit on you.
Spit on you.
Get out.
This pattern continued until 1841, when it appears that she stopped for approximately a decade. During that period, she was dismissed from several jobs as being caught stealing.
Oh, so she went from killing people to just outright stealing.
Right.
Nice.
The final phase of her murderous life began in 1849 when she moved to Rennes. In 1850 and 1851, 2 maids in the household of Théophile Bédard died, and doctors noticed a similarity between the deaths. A forensic examination revealed arsenic poisoning as the cause of death, and Gigado foolishly aroused suspicion by declaring her innocence without being asked.
Dumbass.
She wasn't very smart. She got into that hemp.
She did. She was arrested and charged with murder on July 1st, 1851. Her trial began in December, but she was only charged with 3 murders, 3 attempted murders, and several counts of theft. Gigado constantly claimed to have no idea what arsenic was, despite all evidence to the contrary. Exhumation of the most recent victims showed strong traces of antimony and arsenic. Her lawyer said Gigado should be spared the death penalty because she was dying of cancer. But she was found guilty and sentenced to death. Gigado was guillotined in February of 1862.
That's what I'm talking about.
The French didn't fuck around.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
They were like, we don't care if you're a lady. Just put your chin right here.
She is being stupid. Off with the head.
Up with the head.
Someone bring me fries. Yeah, so...
there's a common denominator here.
Arsenic.
Arsenic.
Yeah.
Well, so one of the things that that I've sort of noticed over the years, just in my readings and stuff about serial killers, is that women have a tendency to poison. They're more of they're distant killers. They don't want to get bloody. They don't want to get.
They're not too hands-on.
They're really not very hands-on. Most of them don't even shoot someone. They would rather poison them, and because it's slow.
Yeah.
They want to make you suffer.
It's kind of... I think it's being able to see their work from a distance.
Yes,
when they're poisoned,
and you can rationalize, as I've heard, that you just made the cookies. You didn't force them to eat them.
That's true.
I made the soup. I may have had the poison in it, but I didn't feed it to her.
Right. Yeah. And
by the way, Stephen, we're taking you out for dinner.
You know, I ate a Tic Tac earlier. I am full.
Yeah, I heard Andrea makes really good soup.
Yeah,
I do.
Not anymore.
You like that cake I made, right?
What cake? Mm-hmm. Oh, the dump cake.
Well, that and the chocolate bunt.
The chocolate bunt cake. Yes, it was delicious, and so was the lemon bunt cake. Yeah. Son of a.
That wasn't sugar on top.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see how else I may die.
Ooh.
Go ahead and take the next one there, Amy.
All right. We have Leonardo
DiCaprio?
No.
Okay.
This is the one that I spoke about on a few podcasts back. I read a book about her.
I'm going to try and say this.
It's fine.
It's
I guess
Leonardo Cianculi.
Works.
That's how it looks.
She was born in 1894, and she died in 1970. Ooh.
Yeah, fairly recent.
The soap maker of Correggio doesn't make the list due to the scale of her crimes, but because of the bizarre nature of her deeds. Cianculi pushed the boundaries of what a mother would do to protect her son by resorting to murder. Devastated that her son was called up in the army in World War II, she decided that human sacrifice was the only way to protect him, so she killed 3 women in the space of a year. Cianculi was born in Montella, Italy in 1894 and apparently attempted suicide twice while still a young woman, so she was unbalanced anyway. Her parents didn't approve of her marriage in 1917, and she claimed they placed a curse on her new family. She moved to Loria in 1921, but was imprisoned for fraud 6 years later. Upon her release, Gianculi moved to La Sidonia, but an earthquake destroyed the family home in 1930. So she just had bad luck, and she was unbalanced. Mm-hmm. Earlier in her life, she visited a fortune teller who told her that while she would marry and have children, all of the kids would die. A later visit to a palm reader offered more terrible news. Gianculi was apparently destined to go to prison and a criminal asylum. Although she was a superstitious woman by nature, even a skeptic would have been concerned by the way things went after being told this news. She had 17 pregnancies in total, 3 ended in miscarriage, and another 10 children died young. As a consequence, Gianculi was incredibly protective of her remaining 4 kids. She received bad news in 1939. Her eldest son, Giuseppe, was called into the Italian army and would fight in World War II. Of all of her children, Giuseppe was her favorite, so she resolved to keep him safe no matter what. For some reason, she decided that human sacrifice was the only option, because she was nuts. Mm-hmm. Gianculi was a fortune teller in her own right and regularly offered readings to women in her village. So she was a fraud who sucked people in. Yes. This position enabled her to lure 3 gullible women into her trap. She gave each woman a reason to leave town, but swore them to secrecy. Additionally, she convinced the first 2 victims to write a letter to friends and family. These letters were postmarked from their new destinations to tell their loved ones that they were okay. Faustina Setti was the first victim. Gianculi drugged her wine and beat the unfortunate victim to death with an axe. Damn!
Yeah.
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 So she was unbalanced.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Francesca Soavi was dispatched in a similar fashion, and the crazed killer cut Setti's body into 9 pieces, collected the blood, and put the body parts in a giant pot with caustic soda. Oh, she turned her into soap.
Yep.
Gianculi poured the resulting goo into a septic tank, dried the blood in an oven, mixed with flour, chocolate, and other ingredients, and served them to the neighbors as tea cakes.
Oh my God!
You got to look at this is back in a time when blood pudding was really. Yeah. I mean, it was a thing. Mm-hmm. So they would have.
That irony taste.
Well, I mean, they would have looked at it as an expensive gift,
right?
Yeah, they're not thinking, hey.
Yeah, it would have been an
whose
expensive
blood
treat.
is this?
Where
Exactly.
Has anybody seen Faustina? That girl disappeared a couple days ago.
Francesca, where you go?
Yeah.
And then we have Virginia Capioppo. She was the 3rd and final victim, and her flesh was made into soap. Once again, the dead body was turned into delicacies, but unlike the other victims, her disappearance drew suspicion. Her sister-in-law told police that the victim was last seen entering Gianculi's home, and after her arrest, the triple murderer quickly confessed to her crimes. Not only did she remain unrepentant, but she also corrected lawyers over grisly details during the trial. No, I did not hit her 46 times. I hit her 49.
Yeah.
I counted, damn it.
It was in the head, not the abdomen.
And I cut her into X amount of pieces, damn it.
Yeah.
The court found her guilty to all 3 murders, and she was sentenced to 30... They only gave her 30 years in prison for murdering 3 people.
Yeah, and
3 years in a criminal asylum. While in jail, she wrote An Embittered Soul's Confessions, where she outlined her crimes. Gianculi died in prison in 1970 from cerebral apoplexy, also known as a stroke. But she should have written a cookbook for, how to make soap out of flesh.
Yeah.
I read this book about her, and
I was hoping you were going to tell me she wrote a cookbook or a soap making book.
actually, I think she did have a cookbook. It wasn't like a gruesome one, but she did have a cookbook.
Not like, how to cook Teresa and make her taste good with potatoes.
No, and in fact, like the first, let's see, the first woman she killed, she didn't realize that she needed to somehow incorporate the sacrifice to her son. So she basically killed the first one for no reason.
Oh, nice.
Because she didn't save anything. She didn't use the body. She basically just killed this poor girl and ditched her in a tank. Now the second one, she's
like, oh wait, we gotta eat part of it.
Well, and she started thinking about what exactly she needed for this sacrifice or for protection. Well, it was an external and internal. So she started using the second body to make soap, but it was something with the fact that she was like too skinny, didn't have enough fat on her.
Yeah, because soap was usually
was
back
fat.
then was rendered using fat. And lye. Yeah.
So she was real scrawny, didn't have enough fat. So she tried, and the smell, it just smelled rotten. So she ditched that, and
Yum.
but she did feed her son the tea cakes. And then the third one was like, this is it. This is the right way. And it was a plumper woman, and I think she was a complete virgin or something. And so...
Not just have a virgin.
No, complete.
A complete virgin.
Like a real one.
Yeah. Like she didn't even take it in the butt.
No.
Yeah.
Like none of that. Like complete.
Right. Yeah.
But she ended up like cutting her up, boiling
she was
her.
so ugly, she never kissed a boy.
No, apparently the last one was gorgeous, according to her. She was the most beautiful woman. And in fact, the reason the last one really sparked interest was because she was actually an aspiring actress.
Oh.
And she was like traveling, and this woman had promised her that she had a connection in another country. And that's how she was like, oh my gosh, okay, this is great. So yeah, let's do this. And she would take him in the middle of the night, kill him, drain him, boil him,
Cook them up.
Renders of fat.
all that fun stuff. Makes me hungry. But yeah,
It's like barbecue.
Yeah.
but yeah, this and the sad thing is that her son wanted to leave. He wanted to leave his entire life because she was so clingy.
Yeah, I'm sure she was very overbearing.
Yeah, and so when he got the word that he could actually join the military and get away, he was going to do it.
It's like, hell yes.
Yeah, that was his plan. He was like, I can't wait, and he was trying to keep it a secret. And then she found out, and then of course, and it was
I'll pay somebody to write my mom and tell her I died.
right. And she wrote, it talked about how, like, this is a fairly grown man, 18-ish, 19, I don't know, 17 maybe, 17, 18, 19. But she had him, like, stripped down completely and stand in this tub, and she washed him with the soap that she had made.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, I can do this myself. And she's like, no.
Mom, I can totally take a bath.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, she was like reciting,
It puts lotion on its skin.
Yeah. And then, gets out and then feeds him bloody tea cakes.
Yummy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, quite twisted.
Yeah. So, she was totally out of...
Flesh fragrance.
That's a good one, Hockey Man. Yeah. That's disgusting.
Twisted.
I mean...
Which part disgusts you more, though? The fact that she killed these people and made soap out of them?
No,
or
it was
that
her bathing her
she
son.
washed her son.
It was her bathing her son.
Her adult son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Oh, quite disturbing.
That takes helicopter mom to a whole new level.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's the one that created that title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they created that just for her.
Should call it Head and Shoulders. Yeah. Yeah.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
That's where
Yes.
they got it. Oh my gosh, their shampoo's made with head and shoulders.
You're exactly right. Yes.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Man, she was a twisted lady. But yeah, Andrea read the book on this lady, and she's sitting there reading it, and she would pause every now and then, and she'd look at me and Steve, and she was like, this lady's twisted. I don't know if I can finish reading this. And
Oh,
then
those are the kind I just dive right into.
And then she jumped right back
yeah, and
into
then
it.
I'm like, leave me alone.
yeah, stop talking, I'm reading. Yeah.
I'm so excited. Chuck got me a Kindle. So
Did you get the Paperwhite?
I got a Paperwhite. It'll be here Monday. I'm excited.
Isn't that what you were talking about the other
Yes,
night?
that's actually why I started looking at it.
Huh.
Because I have an old school Kindle and it don't work. Battery died.
It don't work, the battery died.
I mean, it's like probably 10 years old too. So
But yeah,
They're only $89.
Yeah, I tried to get her to order one,
She
but
needs Paperwhite.
yeah,
I don't like spending money on myself. So.
She doesn't.
And plus, I need my hair done, and that costs money. So I'd rather get my hair done.
when she could do both, but she's being frugal.
So you're just going to have to buy it for her.
It's not that
It don't
easy.
work like that.
It's not that easy, Amy.
Nope.
Not at all. Not that easy.
Moving along, number
In
4.
my house, Chuck just like buys it and presents it to me.
See, I would do that.
Here, you're a great wife.
Yeah.
Have a gift.
I won't let him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to let them speak their love language, honey. And if their love language is bringing you a gift every now and then, buying you something that you like, you got to let them do that.
The love language of buying things is as long as the bills are paid, that shows me love. He's bringing in money to pay the bills. I love that.
She does. She loves
I mean,
it.
I love that too,
Yeah.
but
I just don't like money being spent on me at all.
such a weirdo.
Yeah, you don't know what it took for me to talk her into getting her to go get that pedicure that day.
I refused to actually go get a pedicure. And he was like, picks up his phone.
Your appointment's
Make it-
made.
Yeah.
No, I had to make it, but he was like sitting right there.
And I'm like, either you call or I call, and I might embarrass you. So,
While she's at it, just scrape the hair off her toes.
All that fun stuff, you get all in there. Get her all squeaky clean.
yeah, we're making soap later.
Oh, it's so gross.
Yeah, yummy.
That's the worst soap ever.
It tastes funny. This soap tastes funny. I'll stop cussing. I swear to God, just don't put that back in my mouth.
Cersei, why in the hell are you eating soap?
Cussing.
Shut up.
Andrea said hell.
She did.
I'm on a roll, man.
She's
Already halfway done, and we're only less than
halfway
an hour
through.
in.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
I know.
I feel like I'm rubbing off on you a little
You
bit.
are.
It's not necessarily a good
Oh,
thing.
you missed it the other day. She dropped the F-bomb.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yes. Yelling at Xander. Dropped the F-bomb. So did.
I mean,
He broke my truck.
Yeah.
children can bring out
No,
the F-bomb.
he broke my truck
What did he do?
He's an idiot.
in a
I mean,
place.
he's a teenage boy, but how did he break your truck?
And he broke it like 50 minutes from here. I had to get it
Which-
towed.
A $210 tow bill.
What did he do?
Honestly, he didn't really do much. He sat and he ran the battery down, but he wouldn't let us come into the driveway where he was at to
Jump it off.
jump it off. He said it was tore up. It was dead. That we were going to have to get a tow truck. So this is 12:30 in the morning when I have to get up at 3.
This is out at the girlfriend's house.
Yes.
Yep. So needless to say, there was a lot of bad language coming out of Mama that night. Mm-hmm. You wake me up in the middle of the night, you break my truck, I'm going to be mad.
And she was.
I don't blame you.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Oh.
Have we banned him from spending time over there?
No, we banned
Banned
him
him.
from using anybody else's vehicle.
Yeah.
Because he wrecked his truck like 3 weeks ago. He was driving my brother's girlfriend's car,
An Audi TT.
and the timing chain broke. And then he took my truck,
And
3 days later.
3 days later, took my truck and the battery died. He's got bad luck.
The battery died because he was sitting there with the radio on doing God knows what with that girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
I know.
all got imaginations.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yep.
He had
We know
cookies.
we know what they were doing.
Anyway, moving along. Let's go.
So was it the truck or the hickeys that drove you over the
Oh,
edge
no, the
into
hickeys
the
were-
F-bomb?
No, it was the truck.
Okay.
I'm like, hickeys. Oh, God, why would you get them in a visible spot? That was my issue. If you're gonna get them, hide them.
Okay, and if any of you guys listening are wondering how this comes into the whole paranormal subject, so am I.
It don't.
But
Sorry.
the only thing I can decipher from it is if Xander does this again, Andrea's going to make him a ghost.
That is true. Actually, it started with the fact that you said that I dropped an F-bomb. That's how all this
That's
started.
how- yeah.
That is how this started.
You're exactly right. It's
Do
my
you,
fault.
do you
I'm
need me
sorry.
to hex him?
No. She's just going to feed me soup later.
I was talking about Xander.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah.
Put a block.
Yeah.
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 All right, number 4, Daria Saltikova.
That's how I like my kova. A little bit salty, and with some cheese. No soap.
Cheese is good.
Yeah.
Cheese is good.
All right, born in 1730, died in 1801. Saltikova is yet another relatively unknown female serial killer, but is compared to Elizabeth Bathory due to the similarities of their crimes.
Ooh.
Saltikova was a Russian noblewoman who tortured and murdered over 100 of her serfs over a 7-year period. The majority of her victims were women and girls. She was the daughter of Russian nobles and married into the famous Saltykov family, but was widowed in 1755. Upon the death of her husband, Saltykova inherited a massive estate with up to 600 serfs. The trigger for her murderous spree may have been rejection by a man named Nikolai Tuchichev, who
God bless you.
Thank you. Who she had who she had an affair with. Nikolai fell for a young woman and married her in secret.
Oh, shame on him.
The jilted Saltykova wanted him dead, but he fled to Moscow with his wife. After missing the opportunity for revenge, she took out her frustrations on her serfs. Saltykova hated females. The younger they were, the more she despised them. The killings would begin with the noblewoman flying into a rage before she beat, whipped, and tortured her victims to death. She murdered in a variety of ways, breaking people's bones, throwing them naked outside in the snow, and pouring boiling water on their bodies were among her favored methods.
I would appreciate not being thrown naked in the snow. I do not like the cold.
Yeah, please don't, do that or break my bones
Just
or
make
boil.
it fast. If you're going to kill me, make it fast. I don't want frostbites on the delicate bits.
But see, that's just it, It's about the torture.
True. True.
Saltykova only killed 3 male serfs, and these deaths were apparently accidents. Instead, she would kill a man's loved ones. According to reports, she took a dislike to a male serf, but rather than kill him, she murdered his wife, then his second wife, and finally, his third. Her noble status allowed her to get away with her deeds for far too long. Early complaints were ignored, and it was only after 7 years and countless complaints from serfs who lost family to her twisted hand that Saltykova was charged with 38 counts of murder, although she probably murdered at least 100 serfs. Although she was arrested in 1762, Saltykova was only found guilty after a 6-year investigation and sentenced in 1768. While most serfs were too scared of the killer to testify, Saltykova was eventually found guilty of 38 murders. Forensic detectives put the real figure at 138 or 139. As Russia had abolished the death penalty in 1754, the only option was to hand down a life sentence. Saltykova was beaten in public in Red Square in Moscow and forced to wear a sign that said, "This woman has tortured and murdered," for an hour. She spent the next 11 years in a convent basement before being moved to a monastery building. Saltykova reportedly spat at and cursed visitors as she exhibited clear signs of mental illness. She died in December 1801 and was buried beside her relatives.
Okay.
Horrible.
Okay.
Horrible.
Question.
Yes.
Okay. So this was all aimed towards women. And
She blamed the woman for her lost love, cheating, and marrying her.
Yeah. But,
And she didn't even, I mean, she was torturing the help.
right.
Because who was really going to miss them?
Right. Yeah. And hey guys, we have a surprise call in.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes, we do.
What's up, everybody?
Hi, Steve.
We miss
I
you
can't
up
believe
here.
you're still awake.
The medication
Yeah.
hasn't kicked in yet.
What's up, Hockey Man?
We miss you up here. But
I mean, we could make you a
miss y'all
place in the
too.
floor.
Yeah, we can boom the mic down to your mouth and you can just lay on the floor.
That's going to be so much more comfortable.
But, yeah, so we've updated everyone on Steve. We've got some new people in the chat since then. Steve had back surgery 2 days ago, and now he's living either on the couch or downstairs in his dungeon. So,
Yes.
Whichever way is more comfortable at the moment.
yeah.
It's okay. I'm
Yeah,
keeping
well,
your chair
and
warm.
both ways are on my side, so I guess it really doesn't matter.
But, so, this Saltykova, did you hear part of this story, Steve, as they were talking about?
No, I literally just logged in.
Okay. Well, this lady, apparently her significant other had cheated on her. Therefore, she had a hatred towards women and decided to kill them all.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
She was kind of a crazy bitch.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
had murdered over 100 of her helpers over a 7-year period.
Wow. Is she from the U.S.?
No. This is in Moscow?
Russia.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, Russia.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of. And then they, at the end there, they took her out in the middle of Red Square, made her wear a sign that said, "I've tortured and murdered."
This woman has tortured and murdered.
And they made her wear that sign for an entire hour.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Wow.
1 hour. And then she spent the next 11 years in
In a convent and a
Yeah.
monastery.
yeah. And then later died in 1801, where she was buried beside her relatives.
God, that was such a good year.
I know. I remember it like yesterday, dude.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, at your advanced age.
Yes. I mean, you know, I am a year older today.
You are.
Your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, Steve was actually the first one to tell me happy birthday.
Because he's the only other person that's up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's exactly right.
Nobody else is awake at
No
that time.
one's me and Steve. That's about it. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, the sad thing is, though, I don't have to be up at that hour.
No,
I
he
just
doesn't.
am.
Yeah. I have to be up at
Just
that
your
hour.
body clock saying, "Hey, it's time to get up."
No, I think it was his back saying, "Hey,
This is
move."
back clock
Yeah.
saying, eh.
Yeah.
Medicate me.
All right. Okay. Now that we have Steve on here with us, why don't we go ahead and take it to the next one?
This is Dagmar Overby. What a great name, Dagmar.
Dagmar and Overby.
And yep, Dagmar and Overby.
Yeah.
Two awesome.
That sounds like something from Target.
Go over there on aisle 16 and get me some of that Dagmar Overby. I use that when I make soap.
Oh, gosh. I just had a bad visual.
Right. Dagmar was born in 1887 and died in 1929. She was a Danish serial killer and murdered anywhere between 9 and 25 children during a 7-year period.
Let me just say real quick. I'm a cheese Danish killer. Love them.
I kind of like the cherry-filled ones.
See, I'm old
Cheese
school.
Danish, raspberry Danish, blueberry
Yes.
Danish,
Oh, the blueberry cheese.
plain Danish.
Every Danish.
Any kind of Danish.
Yeah. Okay.
Pastries.
Yeah. Pastries. Yeah.
Just pastries. It doesn't matter.
Dog nuts.
Yes, dog nuts.
Anyway,
She was thinking about dog nuts.
getting back to murder.
Hey, twat's on.
Yeah. What's up, twat? Go ahead.
What'd you call me?
What did you say?
What did you
What
say?
did you say?
What? All right.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
I smell a twat.
no, you don't. You're down there by yourself. Over
Am
a
I?
7-year period, she killed between 9 and 25 children from 1913 to 1920, although some historians believe the figure could be as high as 200. Jeez. She was born in 1887, and little is known about her early life. Overby worked as a professional child caretaker where she was supposed to look after children born outside of marriage. It was known as a baby farm or an unofficial adoption agency, and it was the scene of her serial killing spree. All of the murders happened in Copenhagen, Denmark, and she killed the unfortunate victims via strangulation and drowning, or else she burned them to death. What a heinous bitch.
Right?
Overby buried and burned the corpses, or else she hid them in the loft. I bet that smelled great. There are scant details regarding her arrest in terms of how she was eventually caught. It is remarkable that she was able to murder so many children over such an extended period without arousing suspicion. Her trial was one of the most talked about in the history of Denmark, and her actions resulted in changes to the nation's child care legislation. God, I would hope so. Mm-hmm. During the trial, Overby's lawyer tried to defend his client by saying she was abused as a child. This cut no ice with the jury, as she was found guilty of 9 murders, and the judge had no hesitation in sentencing her to death. Only 3 women received the death penalty in Denmark during the 20th century. But like the other 2, Overby's sentence was commuted to life imprisonment. I've never understood that. If you're going to sentence someone to death, just fucking do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially somebody like this who deserved it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't go, oh, well, she's a woman.
Yeah. Just lock her up for a little bit.
Just lock her up for the rest of her life.
Slap her hand and let her go.
No, they need to do like the French did. Cut that bitch's head off.
For real.
Exactly. So after her arrest, over 180 children were reported missing from her baby farm. There's a possibility that these reports came from parents who committed their own misdeeds and they sought to cover things up. But one has to assume that Overby almost certainly killed more than 25 children. She never spoke about her reasons for murdering the children. Perhaps she saw herself as a missionary whose job was to get rid of the unwanted babies. Whatever the reason, she took it with her to the grave as she died in prison in 1929, and let's hope she's rotting as we speak.
Oh, I'm sure she is. I'm sure she is.
This actually brings me to something I actually saw online the other day. Has anybody ever heard of the Butterbox babies?
Yes.
I haven't.
No.
Okay. So this couple opened up a maternity home called the Ideal Maternity Home in Nova Scotia, Canada. And it was from the late 20s through at least the late 40s. And it was more or less a place for unwed mothers to birth their babies, right? So they would charge them, the mothers, to have their babies.
$500. $500 in the 1920s.
Yes.
Holy cow.
And if they couldn't pay, they basically had to give up their baby to
Wow.
this couple.
And so what did
And
this...
this couple would turn around and do adoptions. And they could charge up to $10,000 for a baby.
In the 1920s.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, the sad part is And mind you, at this time, the average salary, the average wage was $8 a week. Right? Mm-hmm. So, of course, many of the mothers could not afford this amount. So what they would do is they could, quote unquote, work their amount off by working in their house, their maternity home, which basically they're working just to save their baby.
Right.
But they were only making $8 a week.
Wow.
To try to get their babies back. So during this time, there's a lot of babies, a lot of people that can't have babies, so they're coming and buying babies. And so if there was say they got a baby that was undesirable in that time, another color, so to speak, a birth defect, like a birthmark.
Yeah.
They would dispose of these babies. They would feed them water and molasses, and so much to the point of starvation. And they had these wooden crates that where butter was shipped in.
Right.
They would pack these babies up in these boxes and bury them in the field.
Wow.
Wow.
And there was another thought I had. I'm trying to scroll through this.
They were also put out of business a couple of times, and they would just move.
Yes.
And just start back up
and
in
start
some
right
other
back
town.
over. Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of numbers, they're guesstimating between 400 and 600 babies
Wow.
that had been killed.
That had been killed.
That had been killed.
That
and
had
there
been
are
killed.
There are still to this day people finding out that they were born in that area and were adopted illegally, and they call themselves the Butterbox babies.
Yeah.
So what happened to this couple that was doing this?
Sorry, I wasn't fully.
They went to Chili's and got their baby back ribs.
Boo!
Oh my God.
Well, medication kicking in, Steve.
Yes.
Well, and just kind of another background that the husband was a chiropractor and an unordained minister of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and his wife was a midwife, although she advertised herself as an obstetrician. Business was shut down by the government, and crap, I can't even find what happened to them.
Well, they went to Chili's.
I think she went to jail. I think they did maybe 7 years of jail time for fraud or something.
Honestly, I don't really remember. It wasn't sufficient. I know that because I was watching a video about this, and I just remember seeing at the very end, thinking, "What?
Yeah, they got their wrists slapped.
That's it? You just killed up to 600 babies and you sold them?"
Well, and one of the reasons that one of the ways they found out that they had been killing babies is that after they had moved, and years later, someone was digging a garden and started finding
Bones.
butter boxes with baby bones.
Yeah, it's...
And
just to rewind a second, where Amy was talking about, the death penalty, if you're sentenced to death, I agree 100%, kill them, be done with them. And another thing with the justice system is, they're giving them 2 and 3 life sentences.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Life in prison.
I get that part. I mean, because life is considered only X amount of years. So, depending on where you're at, a life sentence can only be 25 years.
Right.
But if they don't want you to ever
guys,
get out, then they'll give you a 3 life sentence to run, concurrently or consecutively. Yeah. So
it's like they'll give you 100 years plus, 30 years. I mean, ain't nobody going.
I just don't understand it. If somebody is that damn bad that you want to lock them up for the rest of their lives,
put a bullet in their head and save us some money.
Well, I mean, just say you're going to go away until you die, and you're not getting cable. You're not allowed to smoke because it's a federal detention facility. You'll get 3 hots and a cot.
Yeah, and lots of anal sex. You're the receiver.
3 hots and a twat.
3 hots and a cot. COT. Charlie Oscar Tango.
So I actually found what happened to the woman, the wife of the owner of that Ideal Maternity Home. Her name was Lila Gladys Young, and on March 4th, 1936, she was charged with 2 counts of manslaughter in the January deaths of Eva Nieforth and her newborn child, allegedly caused by negligence and unsanitary conditions at the home. Acquitted at the 3-day trial in May of 1936, convicted on June 5th of 1946 of illegally selling babies to 4 American couples, and fined a total of $428.90. She then died of leukemia in 1967.
Oh, it's a horrible death, but you know what? She deserved it.
Yeah. Wow.
And I know that her husband had a very similar,
he probably got off easy and had a heart attack and died or something.
Yeah, I do think it was a medical thing. It wasn't even, there was
like, oh, they're coming for us. Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
where's the arsenic?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But anyway, so yeah, I just thought that was really interesting that I had just seen that video.
The Butterbox babies.
Wow.
Because I had never heard of the Butterbox babies before.
Me either.
Yeah, me either. All right, before we move on to this next one, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll come back.
Steve has to pee.
No, we're just running up on that time. But we'll come back and we'll talk some more about these evil, deceitful, and
manipulative bitches.
Soap-making ladies.
So, and I'm going to sign off for the night, and I will see everybody in the studio next week.
Awesome, man. Get you some rest, and we'll talk to you.
All right.
Bye, darling.
See y'all.
See you, buddy. All right, guys. And on that note, we'll be right back.
So many people spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on that perfect infrared camera, hoping to catch that epic paranormal shot or simply to document their nighttime escapades, only to pair it up with an IR illuminator that gives off a hotspot in the center of the frame and performs subpar for their camera's capabilities. We did the same thing. Let me save you some time and money spent on multiple IR lights with one name, Deadlight. Created from the minds of Josh Bender and Justin Brown, who are also paranormal investigators, the Deadlight is the elite light to add to your camera arsenal. We have tested the Deadlight and illuminated areas up to 300 feet away. Did I mention these lights are built like a tank? Super durable and sturdy construction. Josh builds each Deadlight to meet your needs and is in constant contact during the building process. So forget the other lights out there and go straight to the best. You can check out the complete line of Deadlights on Facebook at Deadlight LLC. Justin and Josh are constantly exploring new features to add to the Deadlights. ETGS will never use another light in the field, simply because nothing else compares. Get your Deadlight today and you too can light up the night.
You're listening to Parrot Talk with East Tennessee Ghost Seekers, the new perspective in paranormal talk radio. You're listening to Parrot Talk. If you have a question or an experience to share, email us at etgsparatalk@gmail.com or call 865-264-0448. And now, back to Parrot Talk.
Okay, guys, and we're back. And just for our new listeners, we just want to welcome you and say thank you for tuning in to Para Talk. We do this live every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And just so I know this week, you know, we had a little bit of difficulties at the very beginning of the podcast. Got it straightened out real quick and right back on. But we missed the intro.
We did.
So
We did.
Yes, we did. So for the new people that are listening, and this is your first time, I'm Steven. Steven of Para Talk.
And it's his birthday.
It's my
His birthday.
And I welcome you to my semicircle table. And to my right, hailing from somewhere out west, toting a 6-shooter, weighing in at a $105. My sister from another mister, Miss Amy Sharp.
He forgot the part about being a future serial killer.
And a future serial killer.
No, I would never get caught.
Yeah, because you would make soap out of people and like essential oils.
Candles.
Yeah, candles.
That's what tallow is. It's fat.
Yeah. Yep. To my left, someone who wants to hide the Tums from me when I'm dying from heartburn. She is my one and only sweet little wife, Miss Andrea Brown.
Hello, everyone. I wasn't doing it on purpose.
And
I think she was, man.
I think she was,
wasn't, I
too.
swear. How was I supposed to know he's going to have a heartburn that night? And why
was-
in the world did
she
they end
was
up in my
thinking-
bag, man?
I don't know.
She was thinking, he's going to eat some crazy shit while I'm not here. I'm going to take these with me.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Just in case.
Yeah. And
Make him suffer.
the guy on the line with us earlier, before we took our break, was our own Duke of Hell, Mr. Steve Wiseman. So,
Should we just cut the... Should we just start calling him Hades?
yeah, we'll just call him Hades.
There we go.
There we
that
go.
works.
But tune in next week, and we should have
The Duke shall return.
the Duke shall return, and we should have our own little Mr. Famous, Mr. Mike Howard.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back on this list of rotten, angry-ass women.
All right.
All right. Number 6.
Who says they were angry? They were just evil.
It's true. They weren't
it's true.
necessarily angry. Well, that one was.
The one that the chick
Well, yeah,
that
she was jilted.
yeah, she was angry.
She's mad.
She was hangry. She needed a Snickers bar and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you tell her that.
Yeah. She wouldn't kill me. She'd kill you for me saying it.
That's true.
That's exactly right. Yeah. All right. Number 6.
Fine, I'll hold more Tums from you. Number 6, Juana Barraza. Born in 1957.
I don't even know what a barraza is. How do I know if I want one?
It's her last name, goober.
I mean, to me, it's that thing I pull off at the end of the day and scratch real good.
It's like, Barraza!
You want a barraza?
It's the bra removal celebration.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So, Juana Barraza, the old lady killer, is the only living member on this list. The former professional wrestler murdered at least 11 women between the ages of 64 and 79, although some estimates go as high as 48 killings. Barraza was born in, Mexico.
If
Yeah.
pause you can.
Yes, in Mexico in 1957, and had a horrific upbringing. Her alcoholic mother apparently exchanged her for 3 beers, and the
Nice.
buyer repeatedly raped her. She became pregnant after one of these sexual assaults and had 4 children in total. As an adult, Barraza forged a career as a professional wrestler and had the name The Silent Lady, La Dama del Silencio. She committed her first murder in the late 1990s. Probably.
You can see her every week on Telemundo.
Probably in 1998, and embarked on her deadly spree until her arrest in January of 2006. Barraza used to travel around public places and seek lonely elderly women. She gained their trust by either requesting a cleaning job or volunteering to help them with their shopping. For other murders, she pretended to be a nurse offering a free checkup or a social worker looking to discuss elderly benefits.
Upon gaining access to their homes, Barraza proceeded to strangle her victims with tights, phone cables, or a stethoscope she brought with her. After committing dozens of murders, she was finally apprehended on January 25th of 2006. Barraza was seen leaving the home of Ana Maria de los Reyes after strangling the woman with a stethoscope. Her trial took place in 2008, and she was found guilty on 16 charges, including 11 separate murders. Barraza was sentenced to 759 years in prison. But as sentences are served concurrently in Mexico, the maximum term is 60 years. Since Barraza was 50 years old at the time of sentencing, she will spend the rest of her life in prison. The exact number of the murders committed by Barraza is unknown, although she is linked to at least 32 deaths since 2003. Despite the evidence against her, Barraza has only admitted to committing one murder, that of Reyes.
Wow. You think she got dropped on her head a few times and that just twisted something in her?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was, one too many bumps into the turnbuckle.
Okay, well, seriously, though, my thought on this, she had a horrible upbringing. She was sold for 3 beers.
That's true.
Okay.
She was raped multiple times. Who's to say that the people that...
Maybe her mom was an old lady.
Well, and I was thinking, well, maybe, where she went had elderly ladies who she would have thought that would have cared for her and been like, no, don't, you'd be nice to her, or whatever, try to take up for her.
Yeah.
Ended up either being instigators or just completely ignoring her. And that's what pissed her off and was like,
could be.
Screw you.
But see, I feel
bad for her, for the child that she was, but I don't feel bad for her that she became a murderer.
Right. But, okay, this is like these stories, we don't know the whole story.
Right.
We don't know if the back stories are even true.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's just like, when we did the Charles Manson episode, there was one part that in all the research that we found, one of them said that, Charles was sold for a 6-pack of beer by his mom, which it showed up in one article, didn't show up in anything else.
We try to do the best research that we can on some of this, but...
Right. I'm just saying, we don't know...
The full story.
The whole story.
Yeah.
So, she may have been traded off for 3 beers, or she may have been, thrown into an orphanage and was just a bad apple.
Okay. Given, let's take away the fact that she was sold for 3 beers.
Okay.
Say she was taken somewhere else, whether it be orphanage, someone adopted her, another family member took her. The fact that there was potentially rape of a child involved, that can seriously
that can fuck you up.
That can
a child, a mom.
Crazy.
So even if that minute detail of how she got there, if there is that one truth of a rape, any rape of a child, that there's already, from that point on, something's gonna happen. Not always, but when you find out that there's a serial killer, it usually starts somewhere.
All serial killers, the common denominator is that they had something happen in their life.
Right. Something super traumatic.
Whether it's, Dahmer, who had a nut job for a mother.
Oh, yeah.
Or Bundy, who was an abused kid.
Right.
You're always going to have some kind of something in their background.
Now, does this justify?
Oh, no, it doesn't excuse it.
It doesn't excuse. No. It doesn't, there's absolutely no reason to go on a, murdering binge of anyone after that kind of incident. It just almost gives it a little bit more of like that really sucks, that they had that kind of childhood, and then is this the reason? Did they do this because of that?
Right.
I don't know. It's that whole serial killer mind that everybody just
wants to try to get into.
All right. I don't mean to rush from this one, but
I know you're kind of excited about the other one.
We're an hour and a half in, and we have two more female serial killers. And this next one, I want to let Amy read through it, and then we'll have a discussion about her.
Okay.
All right.
Bertha Gifford. Now, Bertha was born in 1872 and died in 1951. She was a farm wife in rural Catawissa, Missouri during the early 1900s who was accused of murdering 17 members of the local community. While some consider her to be America's first female serial killer, that dubious honor was earned 100 years previously by Lavinia Fisher near Charleston, South Carolina. I love Lavinia. I mean, she was an evil bitch, but I love her.
Yeah.
Daughter of William and Matilda Williams. William Williams. Mm-hmm. I feel bad for that guy. I mean, his parents were like, oh, I don't know, let's just name him
Who's
William.
that news anchor?
Bill Williams.
Yeah.
Well, and my doctor's name is Alexander.
Oh.
So there's fun. Anyway, Gifford only had a third grade education. She married Henry Graham in December 1894 in Hillsboro, Jefferson County, Missouri, and had a daughter, Lila. Following Graham's death, she married Eugene Gifford and had one child, James. Alleged to be one of the most beautiful women in Jefferson County with dark hair and a dark complexion. She and Jean moved to Catawissa, Morse Mill area in Franklin County, Missouri. In 1928, Gifford, known in her community for her cooking skills and caring for sick neighbors and relatives, was arrested at Eureka, Missouri, and charged with the murders of 3 people. Following the exhumation and postmortem exams of Edward Brinley and Elmer and Lloyd Schlemel, whose bodies were found to contain large amounts of arsenic, Gifford was put on trial in Union, Missouri. Following the 3-day trial, she was found not guilty by reason of insanity and committed to the Missouri State Hospital, number 4, a mental institution, where she remained until her death in 1951. So there you go, back to cooking to kill people.
Yeah. So, Bertha Gifford. I wish Steve was up here because we have a special relationship with Bertha Gifford.
Really?
Yes. You notice there in that how her and Jean had moved near Morse Mill, Missouri. Morse Mill, Missouri is where the Morse Mill Motel is, where all of the freaky shit happened and Steve was addicted to. Steve went there to investigate the motel 13 times. And
I mean, I want to go, but I don't know about wanting to go 13 times.
Yeah, he would go up there by himself, and he would stay a week by himself in that place.
What's the first rule of ghost hunting?
Yeah, never
Don't
go
go
alone.
alone.
Yourself.
Well,
Shame.
one of the legends behind Morse Mill Motel is that when it was up and running, Bertha Gifford was a cook there.
Ooh.
That was, we don't know how true that is. Just like all these things, we don't know how true that is. But she's buried a quarter of a mile from the place. And that place is evil, just like this lady was. Okay, Bertha would dress up like a nurse and walk around the towns taking care of sick people, saying that she was a nurse when she only had a 3rd grade education.
Wow.
Some of the stuff that they left out of here was Eugene's mom had come to visit them, and Bertha was jealous over Eugene showing attention to his mother. Shortly after his mother arrived, his mother turned sick and
Got some of
died.
that arsenic pudding.
And died shortly thereafter.
What a bitch.
Eugene also had a little brother named James, who I'm assuming they named their child after. James was 6 years old. And he came to stay with them. And because Eugene was showing him attention, young James got sick and died.
Damn.
Yeah, she was like ruthless.
Yeah. But, like, in here it says, for murdering 17 members of the local community. I've read some articles that say that she was connected to up to 32 murders.
Wow.
But yeah, it makes me wonder if, like, going into Morrisville Motel, the way you feel when you walk through that door, I mean, you feel everything in that motel when you walk in. It hits you in the face like a brick. And you're on edge the entire time you're there. I mean, there's no moment inside that building where you can just relax. Like when Steve would go there by himself, he would pitch a tent in the yard because he couldn't sleep in there. He would pitch a tent in the yard and sleep in the yard because it's the most overwhelming feeling I've ever had out of all the places we've ever investigated, all the places I've ever been in the almost 20 years now. It's the most overwhelming feeling I've ever had in any location. It's the only place that if we go back to, I will not walk into by myself. Will not walk into that building alone.
Damn it, now we gotta go. I want to go.
Right.
But I won't.
I got family in Missouri.
Yeah, me too. My dad.
Was that where your dad lives?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's on the other side of the state, Kansas City. But yeah, but we got the oh my gosh, the mansion. Shit.
Starts with an E or L?
No, starts with an L, I think.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but there's a mansion there in Independence where Dad lives. That's super crazy haunted.
It's the one where they have like parties and shit every year, don't they? Halloween party, big deal.
No.
Oh, okay.
This one is a museum now.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's crazy haunted, but they do let you do paranormal investigations there.
Nice.
Yeah. But
Next.
yeah. But this place, I mean, I've walked through Waverly by myself. I've walked through Hales Bar by myself. I've walked through OSPH by myself. I've walked through Fayetteville by myself. Every residential investigation we've ever done, I've walked through and done sessions by myself. Mm-hmm. Morrisville Motel will never, ever walk through that place by myself. I won't. Yeah. I mean, I'm a little petite guy.
Yeah, he's tiny.
Yeah. 6'4", 270 pounds. I'm petite,
He's fragile.
I'm frail. I'm a frail little fella.
Now I really want to go.
But
I know, right?
I mean, it's don't get me wrong.
He makes it sound so fantastic.
I know.
It's an amazing location.
I don't want to be there by myself. We gotta go.
Yeah, it's an amazing location. I mean, one of the best places ever to investigate. But it's terrifying. I mean, like, I saw Steve sit in complete and utter silence for 2 hours after leaving that place because of what we experienced.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, I didn't either. But it
Believe
happened.
it or not.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, damn true.
So true.
But all right.
Number 8.
Amy's favorite.
Yeah, she's my favorite on the list.
Yeah.
Seriously, after reading about her, I was like, I actually typed this up and I was like, dude, she's a beast.
Yeah.
Right?
She really is.
Lavinia Fisher, born in 1793, died on February 18th of 1820. Lavinia Fisher is reported by some legends to have been the first female serial killer in the United States of America. Her origins are unknown. However, Fisher resided in the U.S. for much of her life. She was married to John Fisher, and both were convicted of highway robbery, a capital offense at the time, not murder. Some historians question the veracity of the traditional legend, and some assert that Lavinia never killed anyone. Some, however, believe she would kill her victims by crushing their heads between her legs.
She was, however, an active member of a large gang of highwaymen who operated out of 2 houses in the backcountry near Charleston. Fisher and her husband resided in Charleston, South Carolina for most of their lives. Together they owned a hotel, the 6 Mile Wayfarer House, which they managed in the early 19th century. The hotel was located 6 miles north of Charleston, hence the name. After a short period, many reports were made to the local sheriff's department about guests disappearing. Due to the lack of evidence and the popularity of the couple with many locals, these complaints came to nothing. Lavinia Fisher would always invite men to dinner and ask many questions about their occupation, trying to find out if they had money or not. She would send them up to their rooms with a cup of tea that was actually poisoned. Once the men would drink their tea and go to bed, her husband would go to the room to make sure they were dead by stabbing them. Another version of the legend was that the tea would only put the men to sleep for a few hours. Then, when they were almost asleep, Lavinia would pull a lever and the bed would collapse and drop the victim into a pit. Some believe that there were spikes waiting at the bottom of the pit. One news account claimed that a vigilante gang went to the Fisher's neighborhood in 1819 to stop the purported gang activities that were occurring. A gang fighting a gang. Satisfied that they had accomplished their task, the group left, but left a young man named David Ross to stay and watch. Early the next day, Ross was attacked by 2 men and dragged before the terrorizing gang. As he looked to Lavinia for help, she instead choked him and then smashed his head through a window. Ross managed to escape and immediately alerted the authorities. Immediately following this incident, another traveler named John Peebles asked if there was any vacancies. Lavinia replied that there were none, but he was welcome to come inside and rest and have some tea. John happened to hate tea, and not wanting to seem rude, he dumped it when she wasn't looking. She interrogated him for hours and eventually said she discovered that, in fact, they did have a room available. He then went to bed, but feeling suspicious about the interrogation and fearing he would be robbed, he decided to sleep in the wooden chair by the door. In the middle of the night, he awoke to the loud sound of the bed collapsing and discovered the Fisher's plan. He jumped out the window and rode to Charleston to alert the authorities. Lavinia Fisher was held at the Charleston, South Carolina jail before her hanging. She had concocted a plan in her mind to make sure that she would not be executed. At the time in South Carolina, you could not execute a woman who was married. When Lavinia mentioned this at her trial, the judge told her that they would just execute her husband first, so that she would be a widow. Lavinia made another plan and decided to be executed in a wedding dress. She was a woman of legendary beauty and hoped that with the priest present, she could seduce a man into marrying her. When this failed, she realized that she was running out of time. Before the executioner could tighten the noose, she said one of the 2 things. If anyone has a message for the devil, give it to me. I'll deliver it. Or, if any of you have a message for the devil, tell me now, for I will be seeing him in a moment. Then she jumped off the gallows and committed suicide herself, much rather than having someone execute her.
Wow.
I'm telling you, beast woman right there.
Yeah.
That's just one of those that's like, man, that's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you're rooting for the bad person in that to an extent, but then you're like, I mean, yeah, she probably did bad things and all, but that was just bad A.
Bad A.
Yeah,
She means badass.
That's what I thought she said.
it's bad A, man, bad A.
She's such a little schoolgirl.
Yeah.
I love her.
You're so cute.
The one part there in the story where it was talking about how the ways, rumors went that Lavinia killed people. Mm-hmm. The part about her crushing a man's head between her legs. At that point in time, I'm thinking, Steve's going to find a woman like that.
He would.
And I'm also thinking, Steve's okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, what kind of exercises does she do to be that strong in her thighs that she can crush a head?
Well,
because I want to try them.
The Thigh Master that Susan Summers sold.
Oh, that's got to be it.
That's got to be it.
Got to be it.
Yeah. Yeah, she bought that on TV. She saw it on TV. It's like, I got to get that son of a bitch. I can pop a head like a watermelon.
Back in the 1700s.
Yeah.
She's like, yep, I'm selling that sucker.
If Chrissy Snow is selling it, I got to have it. It's got to work. It's got to work.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, she was a badass. And, you know, I can talk about this because Mike's not here. The Ghost Adventures episode where they went to the jail. They were doing a spirit box session in the courtyard there where Lavinia was hanged. And they had a voice come across the spirit box that was female. And actually, I believe it said Lavinia.
I think it did. I think I remember that episode. Yeah,
nice.
I mean, I know Elsie went down there, and the jail was closed up. But he had called me, and we were on video chat, and was walking around the jail, and had went up the steps on the outside, and you can see through the bars and everything.
Yeah, I've been there. It's awesome.
And I'm like, oh my God, we've got to get in there. And he's contacted him a few times, and still no word. Which I'd say right now, with all this shit going on in the world, it's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, I went. I've been a couple times, and the last time I went was with my daughter Alora and her two best friends. A couple years ago, when Alora turned 21, we went and spent a week down there and had a great time. Did a couple of ghost tours, did the jail tour, and I did not realize that Poe was terrified the entire time we were in there. And I felt bad for him. I'm really glad. There's this one point where, like, I actually came out with scratches across my belly. Like, they went from, like, all the way up over here where I couldn't even reach to, like, and I was like, this is cool, y'all. Like, look what I got. And Poe was like, oh my God, no way, hell no, let's get away from here. But
it's okay, man, look.
Yeah.
There's one point where it's like a dungeon area, and they bring you in, they shut off all the lights, they ask you, you know, not to turn on your Indiglo watches or your cell phones or anything, just so you can see how dark and miserable it was in there. And it's, you know, it's a dungeon. So I almost reached out and grabbed him in the dark. I'm really glad I didn't, because he probably would have just like flipped his shit.
Yeah, screamed like a girl.
And peed.
He definitely would have screamed like a girl.
Yeah.
But he was so scared the whole time that he was close to tears, because almost as soon as we were in there, there's this area with a chain hanging down where they used to like string you up like this.
Right.
And the chain started moving. There's no air in this place.
Right.
And the chain started moving, and he said he was just standing there watching that, thinking, oh my God, get me the fuck out of here. I'm going to die.
Oh my God.
He does not mess with ghosts at all. It's not fun for him.
Right.
So he was petrified the whole time. I mean,
poor guy.
I was in there just eating it up, going, you see the chain moving? You see that? You see that? How fucking cool is that? And he's like,
Can we go now? Can we go now?
I just peed.
I felt so bad for him when I found out afterwards that he was terrified. I was like, I've been here before. I would have sat outside with you. But he was like, no, I wanted the experience now. I've had it. I'm never coming back.
Oh, poor guy.
But yeah, I definitely want to go there. You know, I want to do.
I have a bucket
overnight
list of just places to visit. Not even
right.
like places to investigate, just places to go. Savannah, never been. Charleston, never been.
Oh my God, we got to go to Charleston.
I'm telling you, there's so many places that I've just never been.
I haven't been to Savannah since I was
St.
like a
Augustine.
little kid. Same with St. Augustine. I haven't been there since I was a little kid.
Yeah, see, Steve with his old paranormal team, the Ropes, they went and did Moon River Brewery.
Nice.
And he said they chased footsteps going up and down the stairs all night long. So it was active as shit.
Cool.
Yeah. And that's just one of the places on that street that's haunted. You know? I mean, it's
Pretty sure it's
Savannah.
just Savannah in a
it's
whole.
Savannah. Yeah.
Well, there's so much history there. Much history there. Same thing with Charleston
Yeah. Yeah. And St. Augustine.
and St. Augustine. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of St. Augustine, a few months ago, remember when my friend Angela, that I went to school with, she was wanting us to come out to her house because of the stuff that her daughter and her son were experiencing in the house. She lives in Dutch Valley.
Okay.
We ran into her at Food City.
How long ago was that?
When we ran
4
into
years
her,
ago?
No.
Andrew's
not
like,
that.
I have slept since then.
Do you remember who she is?
Yeah.
Her son played basketball with the boys.
Somebody just passed away, didn't they? Or right after we seen her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Well, she contacted me last week.
Oh.
And she's like,
You still haven't made it out.
no. She doesn't want us to come out. She's afraid to find out what's there.
Gotcha.
But
It's always better to know.
Yeah, she has a coin that came from a ship.
You mean a coin?
She totally got me. She's happy about that too.
I'm so happy.
She's so happy right now.
Yeah.
Got him. Oh, I got him.
So just for those of you that's listening and can't see,
She just danked him.
yeah, Andrea just threw up the gotcha hand, and I totally looked. But anyway, so Angela contacts me, and she said she has this coin that she got while she was in St. Augustine that was a piece of silver that went down on a ship that had shipwrecked.
Oh, cool.
And like anybody who's been associated with this stuff, like the guy that actually found the silver and everything, like his son and daughter-in-law died on a ship. He eventually died on a ship.
So as long as we don't go on a boat.
No, wait, listen to me.
Okay.
Anyone that's been connected with this silver, something tragic has happened. And she's like, since she's had this in her possession, she's, shit's went downhill. And she thinks it has like a bad mojo on it, and was wondering how she could get it cleansed and all that. And I told her, maybe we could find some way to come out and maybe you could possibly cleanse it and see if you could do anything with it.
Right.
But she sent me a story that came with the coin when she bought it, and it's on a necklace, and she wants to wear the necklace because it's cool, it's badass, but she's terrified too because of everything. And I'll have to dig it out of my messages and let you guys read it. But very interesting, and that just St. Augustine, it wiggled around to that.
Water.
And it made me think about that. Yeah, but
I'm down. I get it.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Not sure I'd want that in my possession if the previous owners have all died.
All of them have died. Yeah. Yeah.
That seems like a very
they're
bad luck charm.
And now they're selling them as souvenirs in St. Augustine.
You like this coin?
It's a great idea. Everybody surrounded by this has died, so maybe if we just part it out,
Yeah,
cut down on the population.
Do you want to die? Because this is how you die. Buy this.
Yeah.
I won't have it.
No.
So I'll just have the money they gave me.
Right.
Exactly.
And then whatever happens to them, that's not my problem.
Right.
It's very true.
That's shitty.
It kind of
is
is.
very-
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
really shitty.
Yeah.
We know it's bad luck. Everybody surrounded by it's died. So instead of putting it in a museum, we're going to sell it.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. We'll make millions selling it.
You can make millions donating it to a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could sell it to
Yeah.
a museum.
Yep. All right.
I don't like people who do that.
Yeah.
Profit off of death.
Yep.
All right. Well, that rounds out.
I want to profit
cereal.
off of being groovy.
Me too.
Yeah. Like Ash.
Yes.
Groovy like Ash.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do know that reference.
This
Groot.
is my
welcome.
boomstick.
Shop smart.
Shop
S smart.
Can't believe you hate that movie. I'm so disappointed in you.
Well,
I get hating Chud. But Ash, how can you hate Ash?
I'm gonna tell you, I don't hate Evil Dead, the Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead. It's not that I hated it. It's just not something I would have been like, I feel like watching the Evil Dead. Because it just wasn't in my wheelhouse of interest.
Okay, I'll give you
Would
that.
I watch it right now? Absolutely. Go ahead. Throw it on the TV. I'll watch it.
I'll give you that.
But tell me you're going to throw on Chud? I'm going to bed. I am going to
I don't blame
bed.
I don't blame
There's movies that I'm like, it's not my thing, but I'll watch it. But there are some, like Chud,
And-
that I'm like, no,
And just an update.
hard pass.
I watched E.T. last week.
He did.
It's about damn time.
I finally
He got
watched
choked
E.T..
up too.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
If you don't get choked up watching ET, you
See,
don't
I
have a
didn't
heart.
get I didn't get choked up when you thought he was
Hey,
dying.
some people
and all
probably
that.
haven't seen it. Everybody should have seen it by now.
I think I'm the only one who hasn't
Probably.
seen
On
it.
the planet.
Yeah. But hell has frozen over. Yeah.
Yes.
But so I didn't die I didn't get choked up.
I'm really
No, I
glad you didn't die.
I didn't get choked up when you thought E.T. was going to die.
Right.
It was when E.T. was leaving.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell?
And he said, bye.
Yeah. Oh, hockey man.
She actually said the word earlier, Hockey Man. She said hell.
Yeah, she did.
I'm really proud of her.
Did say
She didn't even realize it
so
popped out of her
sorry.
mouth.
It slipped. I'm sorry.
It's
Sorry you missed it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's that time. That time of the week we like to call I Read It.
On Reddit.
On Reddit. We scour Reddit for cool, creepy stories and maybe some questions. And just so you know, we have our own Reddit. So if you have a question or have a story you'd like to share, there's links to it in every podcast we upload. Click that link, it'll take you straight to our Reddit, and you can post your stories there. So, first story from iReddit. Who wants it?
I'll take it.
Take it.
And unfortunately, we're no longer allowed to say the names because Reddit got weird about that. I don't know why. They don't want us crediting these people when we read it, so we're just going to have to guess on who wrote
We're going
this.
to take credit for these.
Yeah, that's it. I wrote this.
I read it and I wrote it.
You're right. There you go.
This one is titled, I Still Get Goosebumps Thinking of This. The backstory. When my parents dug the foundation of the house that I grew up in, they came upon a native burial ground. That's when you just put everything back and find another property.
Move along.
Yep.
Upon finding this, they reburied the remains and called a native priest to come and bless the land. They ended up moving the foundation over about 50 feet to build their house. Good on them. Kudos. Fast forward to when I was a child and a teenager. I would always hear my name being called from what sounded like family members, but nobody was home. There were a multitude of years that this went on, and I would seek help and understanding for what was going on. Nothing ever came of my search, but for answers, it was always put off as imagination. Here's where things start to get weird. I remember one night in particular, it still gives me extreme emotions thinking about it today, 12 plus years later. I was sitting in the basement playing Call of Duty 4, home alone, as was par with all of my paranormal experiences. All of a sudden, Christmas Day, I hear a little girl singing a song in what sounds like an ancient language. Nothing I have ever heard before or ever again. I sit there frozen, just listening to her until this great amount of fear takes over my body. I bolt up from my chair and go to walk to the stairs, and that's when it happens. It was like I walked into a freezer. I'm completely frozen at this point, and I'm sure you could smell the terror on me. I was stuck there in this spot for what seemed like forever, then it just went away. Later that night, I had a dream about a little girl in a white dress who was singing a song. The same girl that I had heard while playing games in my basement. This memory has stuck with me clear as day for the better part of the last 12 years, always in the back of my mind. When I told people at the time what had happened, it was brushed off as mental illness of some sort, but I know that was not the case. Years later, I come to find out that the burial ground that is next to my house was a burial ground for kids. Yikes. I know that my parents did all they could to put those spirits back to rest when they inevitably dug them up. I think about the girl from time to time and wonder what her story was. If I think of anything else to add that I've forgotten, I'll add it. But as for that, this has been my story. I'm hoping to gain understanding or possibly relate with some people on here if there are any. Thank you for reading this jumbled mess, and I look forward to what all you Redditors think may have happened to me.
You were visited by a ghost.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
that's it. Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty
all
much
you can
it.
say. I mean, you've had,
I don't know about the white dress part, if it was native, but
I'm
yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
you had a paranormal experience. Take it and run with
Definitely.
it.
And it probably wasn't an ancient language, just their native language.
Right.
yeah.
Because you don't normally hear Native American.
True.
So it would be an ancient language
Right.
to anybody else that just has no idea.
And
I know a couple people who speak Cherokee, and I always wanted to learn since that's part of my heritage, but nobody's ever made the time to teach me.
see, Harry.
Harry. Oh my gosh.
One of the guys that I work with that we took to Hell's Bar, he can speak a little bit of Cherokee. And so when we were going through Hell's Bar, he was speaking Cherokee to get interaction.
And that was
That's
kind of
awesome.
cool.
And it happened. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. We got on the SLS camera what looked like someone standing there with their arms behind their back like they were tied to a pole.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Very
Man, and
useful
then
tool.
as soon as he approached him, it was like they started kicking at him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It was really cool.
Very cool. All right. Next story.
All right. My sister's haunted apartment, mysterious caller. My sister lives all day alone in an apartment. In evening, her husband comes home from work. She has experienced the hearing of footsteps, door handles opening, etc. And she thought it was her husband, but no one was there. So she started locking her bedroom door and staying in when her husband was at the office. She felt strange and constantly was scared and felt multiple presences in her bedroom and apartment. A couple of times when she was sleeping, her parents, in a separate house, received phone calls from her phone with static noise. When they'd call back, my sister got up and picked up the phone saying she didn't call them. She hasn't seen them, and she has seen light balls in the apartment too. One time she was visiting her friend and she left her phone at her apartment. Her parents got phone calls from her number. She recently changed apartments and moved to a different area, but she still feels scared from her experiences from her previous apartment. It gives me goosebumps whenever she talks about it. Even writing this is giving me goosebumps.
Interesting. I mean, we've all talked about, things that happen in your house and ways that spirits want to communicate with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Let me actually bring one up.
Okay.
Whether or not this is something paranormal, I don't know.
Or is it Smirnoff?
No. So I have this little zipper case that has my little nail clippers, my nail file. It's a little nail kit that I keep in my purse.
Methamphetamines. Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
Yes. So I keep it in my big purse. It's my purse that I take for work.
Gotcha.
I have a weekend purse or a vacation purse.
Okay. On with the story.
Anyway, so it's this little pink case. So I've been, quote unquote, on vacation. Not so much. I've been off work this week. And the other day I was like, man, I really need to file my nails down. So I go into my purse and I'm like, where's my case? I'm digging everything out. Okay, it's not in my purse. There's absolutely nothing in this purse. I find one of the little paper emery boards that I had in there. So I'm like, all right, I'll just use this. I'm thinking maybe I left it at work. Okay. I look in my other bag. It's not there. Look on the table. It's not there. And I'm thinking, well, I live in a house full of guys.
Right. Who's going to take your little pink case?
Exactly. Who's going to take my little pink case for my, with nail stuff?
Xander.
Okay. That's a possibility. But anyway, so I had been with Steve on Wednesday. And I think I didn't get home till late on Wednesday. So it was Tuesday when I went to file my nails, but Thursday.
And Tuesday when you put the Tums in your purse.
No, I did not put them on
Case solved.
No. No.
It's the house ghost.
Yeah.
So anyway, on Thursday, I pick up the other emery board to put it back in my purse. And no, I was getting something else out of my purse, and I look into it.
And it was in there.
It was right there on the edge because I have my purse sitting in a cubby. The little pink case was right on top, laying on top of the other emery board that I had put in on Tuesday.
It's your house ghost.
Yeah.
So
Fucking with you.
I was seriously, because and Steve was on the couch. Yeah, it had to have been Thursday. He was sitting on the couch, and I looked. I was like, I pulled it out of my purse. I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, what? I'm like, this was not in there. This just appeared in my freaking purse. So, yeah, we do have a house ghost.
With the Tums.
Our house ghost does the same thing. Usually it's remotes.
I'm just thinking, if you want to use something, that's fine. I don't care.
Just put it back where you got it.
Exactly. As soon as you get done, put it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck spent all day one day looking for the remote for the bedroom. And it's a completely different remote than the one we have in the living room. He looked everywhere. And then he went out and got lunch with his dad. And when he got back, the remote was sitting in the middle of the bed. Nobody home.
Wow. Yeah.
They just freaking appear. And you're like,
We call ours Leo.
Nice.
So we just say, thanks, Leo.
we haven't really named ours because sometimes we've kind of seen a woman. But sometimes
we've
it
seen an
feels
old lady.
Yes, but
and I've seen a
sometimes
little boy.
But sometimes it feels like a man to me. So I don't know. I'd like to call her Gertrude or Fred.
I mean, Fred could be for either.
You could.
Okay, read this next one because I want to get to this last one real quick before we get off here.
Woke up at 4 a.m. to a man in my room staring at me. This past night, I woke up at 4 a.m. and this man next to my bed was staring at me. When I go to bed, I bring my desk chair next to my bed and put my laptop on it to watch YouTube so the laptop doesn't fall off my bed. I guess I fell asleep with a video playing. Later, I remember opening my eyes and instantly seeing a man with shoulder-length dark hair next to the chair staring at me. His eyes were huge, and I remember either his eyes or his whole body shaking. The same YouTuber that I was watching when I fell asleep was on, but it was a different video, and I could hear the audio perfectly. He was only there for a few seconds. I don't remember what happened in between these things, but I next remember turning on my phone and seeing that it was 4:35 a.m. and a different video from the same YouTuber was still playing on my laptop. For whatever reason, I went on TikTok for half an hour and didn't think much of what had just happened. Then at 5, I put my phone down and tried falling asleep to the YouTube video. It might just be sleep paralysis, but I can't remember if I moved or not when I saw the man. I can't stop thinking about this experience. If anyone can confirm it was sleep paralysis or not, that would be nice. Thanks.
My question is, how do you only spend 30 minutes on TikTok? Just wondering. Because
I've never been on TikTok.
Dude.
Her and Steve are addicted.
It is very addictive.
I've never. I mean, I've seen it
hilarious.
When people post one or whatever, but I
It's absolutely
don't actively
hilarious.
seek it out.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the videos that she's shown me and Steve's shown me. I mean, there's some that are funny, but I'd rather watch a movie.
Honestly, it's one of those things that it's been out for I don't know how long.
Oh, yeah.
Forever. And I've been like, no big deal. It's whatever. I wouldn't be interested. No big deal. And the only reason I got it was because Steven's great niece requested that I get it to watch her videos.
To watch her TikTok
She's like
videos.
9 years old.
Yeah.
So, number one, she has yet to accept my follow.
Mine either.
But anyway, so I'm like, all right, I'm bored. I'm going to...
Andrea sounded a little bitter about that. She's like
I
9,
am.
dude.
Yeah.
She's 9.
She's the reason I got this, and now
It's
I'm
not
freaking
Lady
addicted to
Gaga
it.
refusing you. She's 9.
Still. But anyway, so I get on this, and I got on because I was bored one day, and I was like, okay, this is pretty funny. Oh, this is funny. Oh, this is hilarious. And then next thing you know, you're 3 hours in, and you're like, what happened?
Yeah. Okay, so this could possibly be sleep paralysis,
It could.
or this could be just that stage of sleep where you think you're awake.
Almost in your
Yeah.
REM cycle, but
Yeah.
not quite.
Yeah,
And-
that right before you're in, because I know there's been several times where, you start dozing off, and then you wake up thinking that you've been asleep for 4 hours, but it's the same thing is on
It's been
TV.
like 2 minutes.
It's seriously been a blink of an eye.
I did
really.
that 8 times today.
I'm
At
sorry to hear
work?
that.
No, here, when I got
Oh.
home. No, it was too hot outside standing in a parking lot at work. So,
But I mean, it could be a number of things. It just depends on the situation.
yeah. All right, last one.
Last but not least, odd family traditions that are paranormal in nature. Over the weekend, something happened at my house that reminded me of a weird thing my mother used to do used to do before bedtime. She always made sure all closet doors were closed, and even if I remember correct, all cupboards too. Anything aside from the actual bedroom door had to be closed, even the bathroom door. If she ever woke up and found the closet door open, like if one of us kids went in there, she would kind of freak out. Although she never specifically said it, I always knew it was because of spirits or ghosts or something like that. Growing up, I also had a friend whose mom did not allow mirrors in the bedroom. Even my friend had to cover hers up when she brought a handheld mirror to her bedroom. Just wondering if anyone else had things like this in their family. By the way, the thing I experienced that made me remember this was Sunday night about 3 a.m. I heard a loud bang from my closet sliding door. I'm sure it was the house settling, but dang, it made me jump out of bed. Suddenly, I remembered my mom always closing the closet door before bed.
How sure are you, though?
All right.
How sure
Yeah.
are you?
Okay, so my question. Do you guys have any strange traditions that you go by, or even like your own internal superstition that you may have of something that you do? Because I have one, and it's weird as shit, but it's every day. Every single day.
What is it? I gotta know.
Okay. So, all right, you know how, the number 6, you got 666, and how that's associated with evil.
Right.
All right. When I get in my truck, and I do it in Andrea's truck when I get in her truck, if I'm listening to music, whatever the volume number is, cannot be in the multiple of 6. Like, I can't put it on 12. I won't turn the volume to 12. I will go up to 14. Because,
See, Audrey's like that. It has to be divisible by 2 or 5.
And well, see, mine is okay. When we were growing up, do you remember the Christian rock group Striper?
I saw them a few years ago live, yes.
Okay, and all their holy stuff was associated 777.
Right.
So I put my radio dial to multiples of 7. It'll be 14. I'll have, if it's on 14, if I'm listening to a podcast or to talk radio, or if it's just background music while I'm driving. But if it's a song comes on that I really, really like, I turn it up to 21.
Okay, that's funny.
Okay.
because I sit here and I think of weird traditional, like, I don't know, things. When I was younger, it was closets. Closet doors open now. Whatever. It only closes because now it's clean. So now I can sleep with it open.
My girls can sleep with their closet doors open, and I don't understand it. I can't.
I'm totally okay with my closet door being open.
My closet is in our bathroom, and the bathroom door has to be closed, and the closet door has to be closed.
Now,
but that's more because if I get up in the middle of the night, I occasionally will still sleepwalk.
Yeah.
And I don't want to crack into something.
Right.
Right.
That's legit.
Totally see that.
But about the volume thing, when I get up for work, I take my shower, I come back out.
You turn the TV up to 32.
I want to be able to hear the TV in the bathroom while I'm getting ready. So it's always on 32. Always. I have no idea what the significance of 32 is, but it's always got to be on 32.
Okay.
And where is it at when you turn it up from 32?
14.
Yes. I put the TV on 14 when I sleep, because I have to have background noise when I sleep, or I will sleep through my alarm clock. I'll sleep so sound I'll sleep through my alarm clock, and I get up at 3:15 in the morning.
Yeah, this makes for a very difficult sleeping relationship that we've dealt with for
I'm surprised you guys don't have separate rooms.
I'm telling you, because I could sleep so much better with the TV off.
Yeah, I can't sleep in silence. I can't.
I can have white noise. I have a humidifier that I sleep with.
And I have tinnitus.
Oh, that's true.
I hear constant ringing.
Oh, yeah.
So if I'm in total silence, all I hear is that ringing, and it drives me batshit. Yeah, it drives me batshit crazy.
Yeah.
So I have to have some kind of noise at all times.
Wow.
Yeah, like when I get migraines and I have to turn everything off, it drives me nuts. But I can't stand the other noise. But the tinnitus drives me nuts.
Wow.
Danged if you do, danged if you don't.
That's right. I don't really have anything. I mean,
other than the closet
nothing
door and
really
sleepwalking.
superstitious. It's just kind of quirks that I have. I just don't have anything that's really superstitious.
Well, see, I mean,
I've got tons of superstitions and that kind of stuff, but I mean, I don't walk under a ladder. And if I do have to walk under a ladder, I will walk backwards right back out from under it. I won't completely pass under it.
See, at work, I walk under ladders all the time. Yeah. But it's the numbers. That's what gets me is numbers.
I can pass a black cat.
I mean,
like it's no big deal.
We have one. So, but last night, Audrey and I were watching TV, and I just turned it to a decent volume, and she was like, "You cannot leave it sit on 13."
Right.
And I was like, "Why not? It's just." I can hear it fine. You can hear it fine. And it's my lucky number.
It's a happy medium.
She was like, it has to be divisible by 2 or 5. And I just kind of looked at her. I said, here's the remote.
Yeah.
But
see, being divisible by 2, though, she could do 12 where I can't do 12. And she can do 6 where I can't do 6.
Yeah. It's got to be divisible by 2 or 5.
So weird.
Yeah. Mine.
Why do I just have one number? Huh? I have no idea why I have 32.
Oh, 32.
I got nothing. When I was little, I had to always have it on an even number. And I don't give a fuck now. As long as I can hear it, we're good.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're out here in the living room.
Yeah. Out here.
I can. Because
we
don't have numbers.
Yeah, we don't have numbers in the living room. We have the sound bar. And so, we have the sound, the volume comes through the sound bar, and there's no numbers to represent where we're at. So out there, I can crank it up or turn it down. It don't bother me.
But once we're in the bedroom?
In the bedroom, I have numbers that come up on the screen when I turn up the volume. Mm-hmm. And
I did try 27 one day.
Didn't work for you, did it?
Nope.
Yeah.
I think I had a really rough day that day.
Probably. Yeah.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, though, I really don't have.
There's this thing that my cousin posted that you just reminded me of. And essentially, and I can't remember who said it, but he said, if you can make your bed when you get up in the morning, you can conquer the world. And he went through the military with that mindset. Because if you make your bed and do it right in the military, they come down through there, they look at it, they know exactly if everything's perfect, they've bounced that quarter on it, and they keep on going.
Right.
So you have already succeeded at something to start your day.
Man, I fail every day.
I
See, if I make
I
the bed
start
in the
my day
morning,
with a failure because I don't ever make the bed.
If I
so
make-
you just have to start your day succeeding at something.
I make my lunch.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I succeed by waking up.
Crawling my ass out of bed.
I succeed by waking up at 3:15.
Yeah. We are all winners.
Yes. Yes, we are. And we're going to conquer the world.
right.
Absolutely. My
One-
bed may not ever be made, but by George, I wake up in the morning.
We will conquer the world one podcast at a time.
That's right. I went through years of not making my bed because I was a Navy brat. So that was a mandate. You get up, you make your
Right.
bed. And then I married Chuck, and he would go behind me and make the bed. So now it's just, I literally put all the pillows where they need to go while I'm still laying there and pull it up just right and crawl
Oh,
out.
honey, I would. But somebody decides that they have to, like, I don't know, do gymnastics in the bed, and all the blankets end up all over the place. So even if I attempted, I can't tuck the foot of his sheets in. So I'm like, I love tucking the foot in, the bottom of the top sheet in. I can't because
So
he
y'all
always
just
pulls
need
it up.
sleeping bags on your bed. Each
my
have your own
gosh.
sleeping bag.
Yeah, see, because I bring my feet out of the cover. Mm-hmm. I don't like.
Well,
my
you can
feet
keep
out
your
of the
sleeping bag unzipped.
bed.
I'm telling you, it is kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Breaking shit. Good God,
I just
woman.
didn't tighten it.
Way to go.
Fixed it.
Okay. All right. I think that's about it, guys. That's all we've got for tonight.
I'm sure we could keep going.
We can
but
keep going, but yeah.
Hey, guess what happens in 2 weeks?
Episode 69.
60. Oh my God!
And again, I invite you guys to join us for episode 69 because we will
It's
be.
gonna be epic.
I mean, you can come up for 68 too.
Yeah, come for 68 too.
And
I mean, what's-
70.
And 70.
And 71.
Yes, come for all of them.
All of them.
But episode 69, we are sharing some information that we haven't shared yet. And
It's gonna be
It's super exciting for us.
I'm so excited.
And,
Steve and I will make all the 69 jokes we can.
Of course,
I'm
yeah.
sure everybody will
Everybody
have
will.
a blast in.
The 69 jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited. I may make a list.
You should. Lists are great.
No
You need
hockey
clues.
man.
No,
No
baby.
clues. All I can say is listen in 2 weeks, and we will share with you what we will be doing
The next day.
the next day. And maybe they may be some way you might be able to participate in something.
Okay, you've just confused me, and I'm involved in this.
Because I just thought of it. And I think it'll be a great idea. So
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
we'll talk about it as soon as
I
we
can
get done
smell
with the
something
podcast.
burning. Steven's thinking.
Seriously, where's that
Yeah.
water?
Yeah.
Splash it.
But don't forget, tune in for that episode. And
Go ahead, tune in next week, and the
Tune-
week after, and the week after, and the week after.
And check out the Teespring store.
That's
Oh
where I was
my
going.
gosh, yes,
And
dude.
by request
We have masks.
of Hockey Man,
Hey, Adam.
we have masks
Adam.
on our Teespring now.
Adam, we have masks.
Yeah. So
3 different ones.
4.
4 different ones. Multiple colors, too.
No,
Yeah.
we don't have bandanas.
No bandanas,
Damn it.
but we have masks. We have face masks to protect you while you're out in this COVID universe that is taking over
The
everywhere.
COVID crap.
And apparently all of our DOE sites. So
It's everywhere.
it's everywhere. But check out the Teespring. There will be some more shirts come out this weekend as my birthday gift to you guys.
I still want the I'm a stupid one.
Yeah, it's coming this weekend.
You know, if we're lucky, because Stephen would be generous, he may be able to work out like a, discount code or something for his birthday month.
I may be able to do that. So, all right, guys, check out the Teespring. Check out the Facebook, East Tennessee Ghost Seekers on Facebook, and Paratalk Podcast with East Tennessee Ghost Seekers on Facebook. Check out our Twitter, where you can check out basically the podcasts, and check out our Instagram at, I think it says ET Ghost Seekers on Instagram, and you can follow me, SBJ, or no, I'm wrong, SJB.
He don't
Ghost
even know
guy.
his initials, man. He is getting old.
I've been up since 3 a.m.
The man is tired.
But
hey, COVID at DOE, you may get another vacation.
I may
That
get
is true.
another vacation. But yeah, and if you guys are listening on Apple Podcast, please rate and review us.
Review, like
And
us, love
even
us.
even on Podbean, if you're listening on Podbean or Stitcher, tell us your thoughts. Let us know what you think. And if you guys have stories, you can always email them to us at etgsparatalk@gmail.com.
If you need an investigation done, give us a call.
Give us a call.
We're free.
We are
We'll
totally
let
free.
Steve know that you said to get better.
Yeah, and thank you, Hockey Man, for the birthday wish. All right,
We
guys.
love you all. Thank you so much.
To
Thanks for joining us.
all the new guys and our old guys who've been hanging with us since we started going live. Thank
We
you
call
guys.
them seasoned.
Okay.
Seasoned listeners.
Seasoned listeners. All right. And I'm a seasoned host. So, all right. Until next week,
Seasoned fries are my favorite.
Oh, man. Now I'm hungry.
I'm Steven.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Amy,
You guys have been listening to Paratalk.
and that's Adam.
And
And
that's
there's
Adam.
Adam. And Steve's asleep.
You guys have been listening to Paratalk. And as always, stay spooky, my friends.
And that's all, folks.
You've been listening to Paratalk with the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers. If you have a question or comment about the show you just heard, or you have an experience to share, or you need to contact us concerning an investigation, feel free to email us at etgsparatalk@gmail.com or call 865-264-0448. That's 865-264-0448. We invite you to find and like the East Tennessee Ghost Seekers on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us online at easttnghostseekers.org. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on Paratalk.